is all fitting and proper that we do this. If for no other reason than to take a minute out of our busy day and reflect back on those no longer with us, whose last measure of sacrifice was to guarantee the opportunities for small communities like this to gather.
Our nation is a true testament to the great experiment of democracy. And whether one begins the study of our history in ancient Greece or post-medieval Europe, which we had to do at the dinner table of my father, we must acknowledge that the very basic tenets of our government are unique. Nowhere else in this world can one find a true representative republic, a democracy, in which members of the non-governing populace choose representatives to govern ourselves with national election cycles, transfer of power. Nowhere else can one find a constitution that establishes 3 co-equal branches of government, in which each branch recognizes, defers, and accepts the decisions of the others. And nowhere else can one find the leader of the most powerful nation of the world willing to turn over control of the nation to a successor based simply upon votes at a ballot box. And nowhere else can anyone find the freedoms that we offer here. It is these freedoms, which were never given lightly to any people in the history of mankind, that we honor and celebrate. They were fought for, challenged, and defended by the lifeblood of our nation's men and women in arms. And today we are given the opportunity to express a simple act of gratitude for our fallen heroes. Who could have possibly imagined an upstart group of 13 colonies could not only gain independence from the greatest military power on earth in 1776, but would also repel a subsequent invasion in 1812. In World War II, who would have imagined that Lieutenant Anthony McAuliffe of the 101st Airborne would have responded nuts to the overwhelming German force opposing his unit at Bastogne? Unlike others who believe America is in decline, I choose to believe that we remained the greatest nation on earth. Not because our political leaders who choose to govern by popularity, but because of the independent few who choose to defend all freedoms. As long as our nation continues to produce heroes who will defend our freedoms, we shall remain a shining beacon of hope for all mankind. We shall persevere. And today, let us remember those who gave their lives so that we can enjoy ours. Today, let's take a few minutes. Let's teach our children a little history. If our children are able to memorize the favorite sports team statistics, then perhaps we can memorize the Gettysburg Address. Perhaps we can memorize Logan's last orders. Those who have sacrificed all and the families they left behind deserve no less. Let me thank you again for being here today. Let me thank you again for participating, for honoring Logan's orders. Let us depart today knowing we have kept our orders. Thank you all very much for your attendance here today, and may God bless you, and God bless these United States.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here today, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be here dedicated to the unfinished work which those who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is for us rather to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the final full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that that nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
As we leave this place, perhaps we could take a second and read the stone, and when we come to one who has served, we could stop for a second and say thank you. We do not deserve the full measure of sacrifice, and yet they've given it to us, and we need to be very, very thankful for that.